Happy Friday. Sarah Boone has blessed our Friday today with her appearance in court today, and hopefully, maybe it won't set the tone for our weekend. But yeah, we're doing Sarah Boone today. She had a pretrial hearing this morning, which was probably 6 a.m. my time, because I think, they're in Florida, so 3 hours difference. But we have Sarah Boone, and last time when we discussed Sarah Boone, I don't think she knew at the time, but her lawyer, Frank Bankowitz, put in a motion to withdraw as her counsel. And this is the second time that he's done this. He tried doing this back in December. It was unsuccessful. Judge Wayne Wooden denied it. And it seems like, he's trying to get along with her case, but there's just so much differences. She's calling him out in these letters. Oh, we got more letters, by the way. We got 2 more Sarah Boone letters. I refreshed the Orange County clerk website, and I was like, oh, great, there's 2 more letters on here. All right, we're going to read some letters on here. So we're going to listen to the hearing. We're going to do the letters. Hi, everyone. How are you doing today? Oh, and then also, if you guys have been following the YouTube family channel, Ruby Frankie, who's now accused, her and her business partner are now accused of child abuse. Apparently, they're making a court appearance today, I think 1:30 in Washington time. So that's actually my time zone. But I don't think that's going to be streamed or anything like that. It might not be, because maybe it's like a child abuse case. But she's going to be appearing in court as well today. I don't know. Keep an eye on that. It's been popping up my feed. Hi, Ricta. Hi, Nacho. Hello, hello. Hold on. Oh, you know what I forgot to do? I forgot to get the chat up. Sorry. I can't see your guys' chat right now because it's really tiny. I don't have my glasses on. Okay, hello. Hi, Taxi. Wishing all a nice weekend. Jared says, oh, Boone. Hi, Claudia. Madison. Happy Friday. Hello, hello. Hi, Kurt. Hi, Chris. Dave Yara. Hello. Nacho. You didn't like my Chris Bound kiss remake idea? I thought it was funny. That was interesting. Hi, Gwen. Good morning. Hi. Madison, Ricta, I hope you're doing well. Happy Friday. Good afternoon, everyone. You're ready with your Dr. Pepper, and you're from Texas. What time is it over there? 1 o'clock? No, 12 o'clock in Texas, right? Hi, Mariah. How are you doing today? Madison, such a sad, disgusting story. These kids, the kids need to help way sooner. Apparently, there's been a lot of police calls that's been made to the house. I don't know exactly how many in regards to the safety of the children, because apparently, Ruby Frankie has made some calls herself saying that she was getting, I don't know, harassed or something. Maybe it's like from people who are like anti her YouTube channel. But yeah, I've been keeping an eye on it. It's been popping on my feed. I was thinking about covering it, but I just don't know. Honestly, I don't watch family YouTube channels. I don't know anything about Ruby Frankie, 8 Passengers. The first time I heard about her channel was when Bose was covering it. Apparently, she was the same lady who got a lot of flack because I think she made like a short or like a TikTok or something talking about how her daughter forgot to bring her lunch, and she was going to punish her daughter by not bringing it to her. And her daughter's in kindergarten. Sounds pretty fucking weird. But yeah, I remember that was brought up a couple months ago. And so when this was brought again recently, I was like, oh, I wonder if it's the same lady. Hi, Tam. How's it going? Good morning. Oh, it seems like you guys like the morning streams. I was going to stream a lot earlier. Have you heard the 911 call? Yeah, the neighbor that calls it in, it kind of sounds like he was really upset. Maybe even like tearing up or something. Yeah, it must have been really tough. But I did listen to the 911 call. I need to listen to it in its entirety. And then I also want to listen to the, there's like police radios as well. But I read through her arrest affidavit. Her and, what's the other lady's name? Hildebrand or something. I don't know what the other lady's name is. But I read the arrest affidavit. But yeah, I haven't done too much of a deep digging on that yet. I was actually going to do it maybe after today's stream or like maybe this weekend, because I'm just curious about it. I have Taco Bell. You're eating Taco Bell right now? Okay, I was like, eating Taco Bell. You better not be eating the breakfast Taco Bell. Breakfast Taco Bell sucks. Referring to Sarah Boone, that's the vibe I get when I read her letters. Wait, what's the vibe that you get, Jared? She's the type of lady that would argue clearance discounted items down to a lower price because the box is bad. Listen, Sarah Boone is just interesting person. And when I say interesting, I'm saying interesting, okay? Hi, Sabrina. How's it going? Your hair looks really nice. My hair's actually really greasy. I need to wash my hair. I need to wash my hair. But it's because I went to play tennis yesterday. Usually my hair does last 4 days, but I went to go play tennis yesterday. It's been hot. I did some yard work as well. I butchered up my entire garden. He broke your heart. Yeah, it's a horrific story. Hello, good morning. Hi, Nessa. How are you doing today? Jody, her business partner. Oh, her name is Jody. Jody Hildebrand. Is that what it is? Girl, I'm 3 hours in the future ahead of you. The 8 pastors lady straight up tortured her kids on multiple levels. I just want to know, where was the husband? It seems like the husband, I don't know. I heard reports that the husband was kicked out of the house, no longer lives there. But didn't he still have custody of his children? Did he not check up on them? Did he not care? I don't know. There's just so many things about this family that I'm just really confused about. I know like one of the older sister, maybe the oldest sister, who, you know, she apparently cut ties with her mom, with her dad. I know she is like in college, doesn't live with a family, but I think she even tried to call police because I think a year ago, was it like September 2022? She called the police saying that like she was really concerned for her siblings because apparently the mom hasn't been home in days. And the police went there. No one opened the door, but they could see the kids like in the windows. Neighbors came out saying that like, yeah, they have concerns as well. But like, I don't know, like what is going on? Like, why was there, did they never get like child protection services or like, you know, anyone to show up and do an interview with these kids, check on them? Or maybe physically they looked okay. I don't know. It's stuff like this. It's like really sad. It's like, you know, usually it's not just something that just happens out of nowhere. Usually there's like reports, people that are concerned. And I think these kids are homeschooled too, right? So it's like they don't really have access to other adults, probably other kids. And yeah, I don't know. The whole thing's just really sad. Hi, Lainey. How are you doing today? I just saw the hearing. I was hoping you could stream about it. I was going to stream when the hearing happened, but then I was like, no, that's like 6 a.m. my time. I can't. But I did wake up at 7:30 though. I woke up early. I woke up early today. Yeah, the Turpin one was really sad too. Yeah, these cases are just so devastating. I just don't understand. And the fact that like the mom had a podcast with another lady, you know, they're both religious folks. They have a podcast talking about parenting, and it's just batshit wild to me. I don't know. I haven't even looked at the Connections podcast. I don't even know how many followers they have or how many views they get. But man, what kind of tips are they giving them? I don't know. Maybe I have to listen to some of the podcasts to just get like an idea. Like, were they giving like good tips and then behind the scenes they were doing shit that was completely contradictory of what they were preaching? Or were they giving tips that, you know, covertly was kind of like, hey, you know, in order to get your kids to, you know, obey you, you gotta abuse them. You gotta withhold food. I don't know. I'm just very curious. Like, I don't know too much about this entire situation. They had CPS called multiple times, 0 consequences. Yeah, I just want to know, like, do we get access to the, I don't know. It'd be very interesting to see what the reports say, if they wrote anything. Maybe they went there and the kids looked like they were physically fine. They're like, oh, okay, whatever, meh, you know. I don't know. When you listen to her, she actually sounds nuts. Tons of suggestions for abuse and torture to small children. I am school. My daughter has since the beginning, homeschool. She explained the social legislation, said none of her education is based on any religious doctrine whatsoever. Swoop did a great documentary on her a couple months back. They were suggesting you starve your children until they do what you want. Yeah, I did see a clip of her when she was saying that, like, she wasn't going to give them breakfast. This wasn't on the podcast or anything, but it was just her doing like a fucking story. And it was like, yeah, you know, I'm not going to give them food until they do their chores. It was like breakfast or something. It's like, I don't know. It's super sad. And she has 8 kids. It's awful from all the clips that you've seen. Yeah. And then the fact that, like, man, I don't know. I'm also really curious what their YouTube channel looks like. I know their YouTube channel's like shut down, and like some people probably have some clippets here and there, but I don't know. I'm just very curious what their YouTube channel looks like, what their podcast sounds like, all that stuff. It's wild. Oh, 6 kids. Sorry. 6 kids and 2 adults, right? 8 passengers. Dr. Todd Grant had a great thumbnail. It was like, it wasn't 8 passengers. It was like 8 witnesses or something like that. Good morning. Yep. 7th attorney. I don't know anything about it, Aurora. I don't know. Honestly, we'll see if there's more witnesses that will come out. I mean, here's the thing. Maybe the 2 ladies will turn on each other. You know, maybe Ruby Frankie will say something like, oh, you know, the other lady kidnapped my kids and she tricked me and blah, 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 blah. I don't know. I could totally see that, pointing fingers at each other. But I saw a news article from Daily Mail, but no one's reported it yet or reported about it, so I don't know if it's true or not. But Daily Mail posted an article. It was like exclusive Daily Mail. There was like a Thursday hearing where Ruby Franke was on like a video conference or something, and then she accused her kids of essaying each other and some other stuff. But I don't know if it's true because like I haven't heard anyone else report it. I haven't heard Court TV, Law and Crime. Usually I'll wait for them to report. But I don't know. Daily Mail had some crazy stuff that they had to say that apparently came out of Ruby Franke's mouth during this hearing. But yeah, I don't know. I'm still waiting for Law and Crime and Court TV. I think I trust them a little bit more. But anyways, she's gonna go full Lori Vallow. Yeah, what are they, Mormons? From the few clips they've seen, obviously she has a mental health issue. The husband is just like irresponsible. I just don't understand. Like, I don't know. How could you just be a bystander? Yeah, I don't know. And then there's another adult that's involved in this too, which is the business partner. But anyways, yeah, that's extremely wild. I'll definitely take a look at it. I read the arrest affidavit, but I wanted to listen to the rest of the 911 call, the police radio back and forth to each other. But yeah. Also, Corgi, 49 hours in Baldur's Gate. I just barely started Act 2. Oh, then you and I are like toe to toe. We should unlock our toes together. All right, y'all. Yeah, happy Friday, though. I hope you guys are doing well. We're going to talk about Sarah Boone today. Ruby Franke is going to make a hearing appearance today, but I don't think that's going to be a live stream. But that's going to happen 1:30. So I'll keep an eye out to see if there's any other articles that report about it. And yeah, geez. Beer back. Got to pay your car insurance. She's claiming that her son was doing what Josh Duggar was doing to his sisters. I hope not. What are the ages of her kids? It looked like there are 2 daughters that look a bit older. One daughter I know is in college. And then there's 4 other children. There's some that look pretty young. I think like the boy that was the one that went to the neighbor's house and prompted this entire investigation. I think he's like 12 years old, right? But yeah, I need to do more research about this family. I don't know too much about them. I'm coming in late, but I had breakfast, Marine Corps boot camp before chores. This woman is, ugh. Her YouTube channel was just evil. As someone who walked away from the LDS church, Dark Secrets Behind Family Doors. Oh, you know what's interesting? I actually had some, I think they were Mormons. I actually had some Mormons like coming around my neighborhood. And, you know, they're always like dressed nicely and they're always really polite and stuff like that. And so, you know, they try to make conversation with us. We like pulled up in our driveway, try to make conversation. They commented in our car. And I'm usually a pretty talkative person sometimes. So, you know, I talk to them back. And they're like, yeah, you know, we're just like walking around the neighborhood and like just seeing if like, you know, any of the neighbors need help with anything at all. You know, like I think I don't know, the way they made it sound like was like, hey, you know, if you need help with yard work, we'll be willing to help you if there's anything you need help fixing. I don't know. I was like, oh, you can do yard work if you want. But yeah, no, I just quickly was like, no, we're good. We're good. Bye-bye. I'm good. I think the 2 found were the 2 young ones. The girl was 10, but her birthday was just days later. Now she is 11. Ay. But yeah, I mean, they seem like polite people. But like, I wasn't initially sure what religion they were from because they said they were from some church and I wasn't really familiar with it. And then, but when they introduced themselves, they did have there was like a prefix before their names. And I didn't really catch it. It was like, oh, I am blah, 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 John. I am blah, 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 Alex. And I was like, what? So my roommate thinks that they're Mormon. I think Dennis thinks they're Mormon too, but I'm not really sure. But yeah, anyways, I was just like, oh yeah, I'm good. Thank you. All right, y'all. So let's talk about Sarah Boone. It was nice catching up with you guys. They mowed your yard. Yeah, I mean, I have a lot of yard work to do, but at the same time, it's like, you know, I would feel bad to use them for, you know, for yard work stuff and then not listen to an ounce of what they say. They might put a tadpole in your brain. Violet said they're such beautiful kids. I'm going to be a mom of 3. My kids are my life, 4 babies. Yeah, I just don't understand how you can birth someone, love them, care them, and then just treat them like that. I don't know. Just some really, yeah, they were in short white button-ups with ties. Yeah, they were. Yeah. Polite boys. I got a gate though, so they don't have access into my house. I got like a gate that's up. But they were talking to my neighbors apparently like last week. Oh, black badges. Oh, I didn't play close attention. It was like nighttime too. But yeah, they definitely had the white buttons up. It was like short, white, and they had like ties on. Those are missionary boys. Yeah, they look pretty young. They look like they were maybe, I want to say like maybe late teens, early 20s. But I mean, I think they'll have better luck with my other neighbors. I think my neighbors are probably religious. All right, y'all, let's start with this. So today, Sarah Boone makes a court appearance. Frank Bankowitz, her sixth attorney, has tried to withdraw twice already. Let's see if it gets granted. I already know the answer to that. But maybe about like 2 weeks ago, he put in a motion to withdraw, and I wanted to discuss that. So this is the motion to withdraw Frank J. Bankowitz. He has cited that there is irreconcilable differences between the two of them, which I can see because Sarah Boone has been lambasting the crap out of Bankowitz in her letters to the judge. And, you know, Frank Bankowitz have seen those letters. Bankowitz has also said that the defendant will not be satisfied with any attorney unless said attorney does not have a caseload and can dedicate his or her time solely to Miss Boone's case. Now, you guys got to remember, Sarah Boone is not paying for these lawyers out of her pocket. Not directly out of her pocket, maybe like her tax dollars are going towards it, but she's not paying for these lawyers out of her own pocket. These are public defenders that are assigned to her. So, you know, I think at some point in the hearing, the judge is like, you know, if you want someone that's going to really dedicate their time to you, maybe, you know, you have to look at a private attorney. And even with private attorneys, they probably have other caseloads as well. But, you know, they're basically saying that like, hey, you know, like people are paying for this, other people are paying for this. And it doesn't mean that you're going to be the only person that they're going to prioritize. They're going to have to balance it out with other caseloads that they have. Now, the interesting thing that Frank Bankowitz did in this motion was that he did throw a jab at Sarah Boone, which I thought was kind of funny. I don't know why it's highlighting like this. He says, the best possible avenue is for the defendant to represent herself as no attorney can satisfy her. I thought this was kind of spicy. I was like, is he allowed to write this in there? I have seen attorneys write spicy things in motions before, specifically Ben Shu. But this. I don't know if you're allowed to do this, but you know, he did it. And I thought it was really interesting and it was kind of spicy. But we're going to listen to her. We're going to listen to the judge, Frank Bankowitz. He's going to try to withdraw. So there's some interesting things because a lot was supposed to happen at today's hearing. If the motion to withdraw wasn't going to happen, essentially what they were going to do was they were going to have defense was going to have an expert attorney that they were going to, an expert witness that they were going to hire. And I believe this expert witness was for the defense of the battered spouse defense, right? And so they needed JAC to approve the rates in order to have this as their expert witness because they couldn't find someone within the pay rate that the state was willing to pay. The only other expert that was willing to do it is someone that's way outside the scope of that. So we're going to listen to the hearing and oh man, Frank. Let's see if Frank gets what he wants. Also, there's new letters that are uploaded to the system now. We'll read them when it's brought up. So here is Sarah Boone. And oh, by the way, my court transcripts, it's working now. It's working. So sorry, not my court transcripts, but my show transcripts for YouTube. Remember I was complaining about how show transcript was like disappearing and not working? I don't know. It suddenly just started working out of nowhere. Here's Sarah Boone sitting there. And I just want you guys to just observe Sarah Boone. Observe at how docile and quiet she is, kind of meek when she's talking to the judge versus the tone, the language when she's writing these letters to the judge. It's a world of a difference. It's kind of like a little chihuahua that has a huge bark, but then when confronted, kind of just like, okay, never mind. Let me just back away. So we're just waiting for them to come in, I guess. The 8-passenger YouTube mom case is so crazy. Talk about hidden in plain sight. Similar to Lori Vallow. Yeah, I think at some point, was it the neighbors? Someone made a comment that, you know, they were hoping that like, you know, one day wouldn't be body bags coming out of the house because I think a lot of people knew that there were some weird things going on behind closed doors. She can call DB, attorney at lawful law. He has 1,000 years to burn. Cheapskate woman. She has no money. She ain't got no money. I have a copy of her lease agreement. I don't think she really pulls in that much income, but I think additionally, that income also includes probably the child support that she was getting from her husband. I think. What do we have for Sarah Boone? Sarah Boone. Oh my God, this is so hard to read. Oh, this one says no child support. Maybe not. Yeah, maybe she has no money saved up. What kind of shampoo and conditioner they use in the prison? Her hair is so shiny. I don't know. It could be grease. Dr. Lewis is probably available for the DID claim. Dr. Lewis, that was in Letitia's case, right? Is the court using stream elements? Got OBS up there. Do we know if they're broadcasting the trial when it finally happens, Aurora, for the Boone one? I'm assuming so because all the pretrial stuff has been shown. I'm assuming so. Rain says the dad needs to be arrested. He let it happen for so long. Yeah, I just want to know, where has the dad been? Is he not checking up on his kids? Is he so scared of Ruby Frankie that he doesn't want to interfere? Like, I'm just so confused what's going on with the family dynamics. She's a keyboard warrior, but with the letters. Oh, she's probably like a Reddit poster. You know, some of the Reddit people are so spicy, but then when confronted, they're probably just like, I don't know. That's what I said about, because I play Overwatch, and Overwatch is probably one of the most toxic, has one of the most toxic communities ever. But it's because it's all like young kids playing the game.
Reach out to Mr.
And they talk, wait, is there audio? Oh, there's audio now. Okay, sorry. They talk so much shit in text chat, but the moment you hop onto voice chat to confront them, no one says anything. I always thought that was very funny. All right, let's get the audio boosted. See if we can hear this.
Standing in on the motion to withdraw.
Can y'all hear this?
Judge, I do see Mr. Cacciatore online.
Okay, I'm going to sound boost it. Give me a second. Sound fixture. Did the gain 2.3?
Correct.
It's just virtually.
He's going to be able to see us doing work. He's not going to be able to hear us doing work.
I'll call him, Judge.
You guys can hear it? I feel like I could barely hear it. Is it just me? Is it my earbuds?
Okay, thank you.
Oh, okay. I think the audio is like, maybe, oh my God, did my earbuds break? I swear to God, I keep getting new Sony earbuds. I can hear it on the right side. The left side I can't really hear, but my audio should be mono, so it should blend. So both sides, okay. So you guys should be able to hear it because I have the OBS filter thing on, but on my end, it's a little, I got to put on my right ear. Okay.
Call him, Judge.
Be able to see us doing.
It's just virtually.
He's going to be able to see.
Okay. So I'm going to adjust this really quick. We got captions. We got captions on. Okay, no audio at the moment.
I have one of the assistant state attorneys reach out to Mr. Cacciatore and see if they object to you standing in on the motion to withdraw.
Judge, I do see
Mr. Cacciatore is the prosecutor.
Mr. Cacciatore online.
Correct.
It's just virtually.
He's going to be able to see us doing work. He's not going to be able to hear us doing work.
I'll call him, Judge.
Okay, thank you.
Mr. Cacciatore, where you at? Running late? So he's going to dial in. We have Sarah Boone in person. We have Frank Bankowitz in person. Oh, you can actually see Frank in the corner right there.
Also, JAC
That's
is
Frank.
on the line.
They are.
That's on the motion for appointment of the expert.
I understand. Thank you, though.
Ooh, spicy. From what I know, they're no longer intimate relationship. According to him, they spend times with the kids separately. The kids were with her for a month or so. But the malnourishment, though, The malnourishment, the bruises. Like the stream, y'all. Yeah. Thank you. Like the stream. Hey, Morton. Sucks for Sarah. Her Bankwitz was a good attorney. Really, Patty? Sorry, I could forward it, but I like seeing all the little stuff. When I edit this for YouTube, I'll cut it out, I guess, for you guys. And just go directly towards the, when they start talking for the hearing. The judge needs a coffee and a cigarette dealing with this woman. Yeah, it's a malnourishment for me. Kind of hard to miss that factor. Yeah. The police that responded said the kid looked really malnourished. There were some bruising. I mean, he had duct tape around his ankle, I believe, and his wrist. Oh, the lawyer, you know, said that he doesn't know him personally, but heard he was good. Oh yeah, because Tragos, is that his last name? Also practices in Florida, right? I might have remember hearing that. And there's visible wounds. Yeah, that's crazy. I wonder if the Psycho 8 passenger lady and her business partner had like a lesbian thing going on. Is that a lot in their religion? Yes, Trey goes, he reads all her letters, lol. How was the Florida hurricane, by the way? Were there lots of flooding or anything like that? No one called the police responding. They called for like EMT. The man's house he went to for help. Yeah, broke down the 911 call. Yeah, I can hear it. It was really sad. There's probably, even though there's like no fault of his own, but you know, maybe a lot of guilt associated with it as well, because maybe he did see some stuff and like maybe he tried to help. Because he said that house was known for doing bad things. And it wasn't even Ruby Frankie's house. It was the business partner's house. So I wonder if the business partner was associated with other family members and maybe brought children over to her house to like discipline them. And I don't know, maybe there's some weird things going on. But yeah, there's a lot of questions that I have. Crazy how CPS overlooks so many things, even with so many complaints filed. Dude, one of the saddest cases that I've heard about, if you guys ever have a chance, watch on Netflix. It's very, very sad though. I always forget the kid's name. 6-year-old kid had visible bruisings. Wasn't homeschooled though. Went to a public school. The teacher has tried to intervene a couple times, and CPS didn't do shit. Yeah, Gabriel Fernandez. They didn't do anything. And you know, he was being so badly abused by mom's boyfriend, by the mom as well. And the weird thing was that he was like essentially the only target. None of the other kids were treated that way, but it was like so sad. Yeah, locked him in the drawer. And yeah, so sad. There was just so many signs, but I don't know. It was a Netflix doc though. Now I'm like, all the stuff that I heard about the Depp v. Heard doc, I don't know. Now I'm just like, man, documentaries, can we trust them? What do they leave out? You couldn't finish Netflix series. You couldn't stop crying. Yeah, it was super sad. Very, very sad. You think they're intimate? Or that messed up like master apprentice type of relationship? Gabriel broke my heart. Yeah, it was super sad. I wasn't even prepared for it. It popped up on my feed and I was like, oh yeah, let's just watch this. Let's see what's going on here. Yeah, super sad. Did you guys hear about the oh my god, there's this one that was like really, really bad. It was like a family that was like living in a trailer, a bunch of people living in there, and gave birth to a baby girl.
Eric, can you hear me inside the meeting room?
Gave birth to a baby girl. Baby girl was like horribly abused for like 6 months by the family members, the uncle, her dad. And I think the mom is like, I don't know how, but the mom is like fucking out of jail. I think she only served like, was it like 8 years, 10 years, 12 years? I don't remember. She's out of jail. I don't know why they're so lenient on her. Sarah Booth's on the left
Check,
side.
check, check.
We're just
Eric,
chilling right
can you
now.
confirm that you hear me now?
All right, it's just tech support stuff.
For those of you appearing virtually, my apologies. We've been troubleshooting a system problem this morning. It appears that we have now resolved that. Let's go ahead and call up the Boone case.
State of Florida versus Sarah Boone, 2020 CF 2603, state.
Dave Cacciatore on behalf of the state.
Defendant,
Frank Bankowitz.
please raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you shall give shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? Yes.
Y'all see what she got in her hand right there? Last time she came with a stack of papers. Now she got what she got in there looks kind of thick.
Can I have JAC announce themselves as well?
Yes, Audrey Moore for JAC.
All right. So we have multiple matters scheduled this morning, one of which is Mr. Bankwitz's motion to withdraw. My reading of the law is I feel like I have to address that motion first and rule on that before I can address any other motions that would be heard today. So, Mr. Bankwitz, I'll start with you. Tell me why.
Yeah, because they had other things that was supposed to be discussed today. But if Bankwitz is not going to be the lawyer, then there's no point, because there's going to have to be another lawyer on the case. And the other lawyer, you know, he might want to do things differently, might want to hire a different expert witness and all that stuff. So, Mr. Bankowitz, tell us why you want to withdraw.
Heard today. So, Mr. Bankwitz, I'll start with you. Tell me why you're moving to withdraw.
Judge, the letters that have been coming to your honor, the derogatory berating of my services in this case, I can't effectively represent her.
So, letters that he's going to refer to, is going to be a August 26th letter and an August 30 letter that she wrote recently to the judge. Now, she didn't know that her attorney was withdrawing. How she actually found out was that, this is her words, by the way, don't know if it's true. She said that a court TV person faked their identity and said that they were friends with her so they can get into an interview to see her. And so basically showing up under false pretenses. And so, you know, she sees this person who's her friend and ends up being a court TV person. And that's how she finds out that her sixth attorney was planning on withdrawing. She said she didn't even know. Some of the insults that she throws at Frank Bankowitz. Okay, so this is her again calculating everything, but she basically just insults Frank Bankowitz, saying that, I do remember her calling him a dud, and essentially saying that, like, you know, he's been dodging her, not answering her phone calls, and he has spent about 7 hours with her, but that's not enough. Like, she wants to be on everything. She wants to be on top of things. I don't know I don't know. But she had, okay, this one's upside down. Who did that? But yeah, she, you know, basically talks crap about Frank Bankowitz, and she's extremely, extremely condescending to the judge.
She doesn't trust me. She calls me a dud, I think, a buffoon.
A dud?
On and on and on and on. And no one should have to endure that type of.
Wait, I'm sorry. I wonder if Court TV uploaded this. I wonder if it's less blurry. It might be. It might be the same feed. Hold on, let me see. Court TV. I know you uploaded this. Where are you at, Court TV? Court TV. Who the fuck is fucking with my? Oh, that's not my history. Sorry, it's kind of blurry. I mean, the audio is pretty decent though. Court TV. Where are you at? I think this is it.
The Boone case, we're not going to be in court.
Okay, this looks way better. I don't know why it looks like this. Okay, we're gonna go over to Court TV. All right, Court TV. Got the captions up.
The derogatory berating of my services in this case, I can't effectively represent her. She doesn't trust me. She calls me a dud, I think, a buffoon, on and on and on and on. And no one should have to endure that type of derogatory comments and expect to effectively represent someone, especially in a murder case.
Ms. Boone, I read your letter dated August 26, 2023, and your letter dated August 30th, 2023.
4 days
And just so
apart?
we're clear, I read all of the letters that you send to the court. Whether I respond or not is based on what's in the letter.
Her issue that she's been having, she's like, why isn't the judge responding to my letters? Why am I not getting a copy of my letters? Are my letters being uploaded? What's going on? And so she's made a lot of, she made a lot of accusations towards the judge. And, the judge is basically saying that, like, hey, I look at your letters, but I mean, if it warrants a response, it warrants a response. But I feel like when I read these letters, I don't need to respond to you.
And whether I'm asked to actually do something that's within my purview as a judge or not. If I understand correctly, you have now decided that you think it would be best, in fact, if Mr. Bankwitz was allowed to withdraw. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yeah, she wrote in her letter, she was like, she's allowing him to withdraw. Now, I have wondered as well, though, how come she didn't get the notice? Because I feel like when Bankwitz put in a notice to withdraw, she should have been given a heads up about that. When was that? Notice to withdraw. That was 8/22. Maybe there's a delay or something. 8/22, and then she wrote the letter, 4 days later. So I don't know what's going on. I don't know why she didn't get an update. I feel like she needed a heads up, like, hey, by the way, your lawyer wants to withdraw. I don't know if it's usual for you to get updates when you actually have a hearing, and that's where you get updated with your lawyers. I don't know.
Yes.
All right. And you understand was allowed to withdraw. Is that correct?
Yes.
All right. And you understand by him withdrawing, I have to appoint another attorney. Do you understand that?
Do.
And that attorney's not standing here, so we're not going to be able to address, and I'll give the state a chance to talk to me as well. But assuming I grant this, we won't be able to address the other issues that were docketed for today, which means I'm going to have to reset your case for a later date. Do you understand that?
I'm not sure what items it is you're speaking of. I haven't received a copy yet of the letter.
I'm sorry, but this is going to piss me the fuck off. Okay, just listen closely. Just listen closely, okay? I'm sorry. I'm going to tear her to shreds for a little bit.
In here, so we're not going to be able to address, and I'll give the state a chance to talk to me as well. But assuming I grant this, we won't be able to address the other issues that were docketed for today, which means I'm going to have to reset your case for a later date. Do you understand that?
I'm not sure what items it is you're speaking of. I haven't received a copy yet of the letter.
You idiot. You were there when they discussed this. We literally had a hearing that you have been requesting to show up, to be present for. Are you not listening? Are you not listening? We literally had a hearing where they went over what they were going to discuss. Okay. This is from a month ago. Literally says.
Mr. Cacciatore, Ms. Boone's present. Mr. Bankwitz is asking to continue the case so that we're going to have a hearing with JAC on his request for funding for a defense expert. Given my understanding of the case, that defense expert would be crucial to at least one defense that's going to be offered in case.
This is literally going to be discussed today. Was she not listening? Was she not hearing? What's the point of you wanting to attend these hearings if you're not going to pay attention? So the judge was like, okay, if you get a new lawyer, there were things that were supposed to be discussed today that we agreed to from last time. That's going to be pushed. And she's like, what are you talking about? I don't know what you're talking about. It's like, okay, well, you're not here at the previous hearing. If you were listening, you would know that the other stuff that they're going to talk about was them approving, hiring your expert witness for the battered spouse defense, blah, blah, blah. It's like, what's the point of you being here if you're not even listening and you're not even paying attention? She's like, I haven't received a copy. No, idiot. You were there at the previous hearing. You should know what they were going to discuss today. Take some notes. I don't know. I'm sorry.
I'm not sure what items it is you're speaking of. I haven't received a copy yet of the letter.
What letter? You were sitting there. I'm sorry.
So we also were having a hearing today in regards to authorization for payment for an expert that your attorney believes he needs to defend you
Which they literally mentioned at the previous hearing.
in an issue about the compensation of that expert, which is why JAC is participating today. I don't know if your next lawyer is going to think that that expert's the right person to use, or whether they're going to go a different route after consulting with you. And even if they did, they're not standing here. And once Mr. Bankwitz is out, he's out. He can't argue the motion. So do you understand that?
I fully understand.
All right.
Okay, maybe you should take some notes because last time, obviously, you weren't understanding what's going on at the hearing and maybe you weren't paying attention.
Mr. Cacciatore, normally the state takes no position in these issues, but there are limited circumstances when the state doesn't take a position. So are you taking a position on this motion withdrawal, Mr. Cacciatore?
No, this would be one of those times where we would be not taking a position.
All right. So I'm going to.
She'll come back at the next year and be like, where Frank at? Okay, so Jasmine says, thank you for the $9.99, by the way. She would have been given a copy of the filed document, but it gets sent via, snail mail. It's likely the press saw the docket update that the motion was filed before she got her copy in the mail. So I wonder if she did end up getting the copy at some point.
Grant Mr. Bankwitz's motion to withdraw. I'm going to appoint, find my list, Attorney Winston Hobson to represent Ms. Boone. In regards to the other matters scheduled today, I'm going to take no action on them at this time until Mr. Hobson can, well, in regards to the motion
Good luck, Mr. Hobson. You got this. We're rooting for you. You got this.
involving JAC, I'm simply going to take no action on that motion at this point in time until Mr. Hobson has a chance to review it and determine whether he wants to proceed with that motion. I will address the pretrial because today was also supposed to be pretrial.
Get over should you pay attention, G's. Listen, she's been fighting. She's been fighting in these letters to be a part of these hearings. She wants to be part of it. She wants to listen to what's going on. But the fact that she wasn't even paying attention to the previous hearing, and when the judge is like, hey, we had some other stuff to cover, and she's like, well, I didn't get the letter. Yeah, there's no letter about it. If you're sitting and listening to the previous hearing, then you understand what was on the docket for today.
Here's what we'll do.
Maybe she's dragging it out.
Let me just get my calendar up.
She's been there for 4 years now. A lot of years.
As far as pretrial conference, I'm going to set this case for pretrial conference on Tuesday, November 28th, and a trial period starting Monday, December 11th. I think any earlier period of time would be unrealistic for Mr. Hobson to get on board, get up to speed with the discovery, and determine how he wants to proceed in regards to any experts.
Wow, 3 months.
But I will set a status hearing on the case prior to that.
Here's what I'm hoping, though. I know that before when we had some attorneys withdrawal, they assigned another attorney, like another public defender. But later on, the public defender was like, oh, hey, I actually can't represent her because there's a conflict of interest, So I hope that they already did their research, and maybe discuss it with potential seventh attorney. Like, hey, you might potentially be assigned this. Can you please research ahead of time to see if you might have a conflict of interest on representing her? I hope he's not just willy-nilly just assigning it on the spot. I don't know how they do this, but I hope that, they contacted seventh attorney ahead of time, was like, hey, can you just double check? Make sure there's no conflict of interest. Let's get this going. Let's get the ball moving. Could they dismiss her case if it's dragged her for too long? I did hear about someone who was essentially waiting for trial for 10 years or something. It popped up on my feed and got his case dismissed because he was just sitting there waiting for 10 years for his trial to happen. I don't know, something like that. Oh, conflicts are usually done by the newly assigned attorney. The judge usually doesn't ask them ahead of time. Gotcha. So, I mean, we'll see what happens to seventh attorney. Seventh attorney could also have a conflict of interest, but we'll see. Dr. Pepper. Dr. Pepper's so gross. I'm sorry, guys. I went to Taco Bell and I was like, you know what? My mod likes Dr. Pepper. I'll try it. It was so gross.
I'll set a status hearing on the case Monday, October 30th, 2023 at 10 a.m.
Like a month and a half from now.
That'll be for the purpose of making sure that Mr. Hobson's on board, some sense of where he thinks things are, how realistic he thinks the November pretrial is, any other matters I need to address with him at that time. Now, Ms. Boone, in just a minute, they're going to take you back to the Orange County Jail. I'm going to suggest that you talk to Mr. Hobson about the various other issues you raised in your letter dated August.
She had a lot to say in her letter or letters, but when I was watching this, I was trying to see if she was going to try to get some words in. Because like I said, in her letters, she's very condescending, but when she makes these court appearances, she's very meek. I thought she'd be a little bit more pushier to get a little bit more talk time to the judge, but no.
August 30th, 2023. One other thing I want to talk to you about, we had this conversation once in the past. Clearly, your working relationship with Mr. Banquets was such that it deteriorated to the point where the two of y'all just couldn't work together to defend your case. So I'm not going to try to referee how that played out, why that unfolded the way it did. But one thing I want to caution you about, if this becomes a problem on another court-appointed attorney, I'm going to look more closely at what the alleged disputes are. You have a right to a court-appointed lawyer. There are certain decisions a defendant gets to make in the defense of their case that are absolutely theirs, such as whether they go to trial or not, such as whether they testify or not. But there are many decisions in a case that a lawyer gets to make. And while you certainly have a right to consult with your lawyer and discuss with your lawyer, they don't automatically just do whatever you say. They use their professional judgment and experience and look.
Because they went to law school. You didn't. I mean,
You say they use their professional judgment and experience and look at the evidence, look at the law, and do the best they can. Also, you've got court-appointed counsel. As I've explained to you before, court-appointed counsel rarely have the luxury of representing one person and only having one case to focus on. I have concerns that your expectations of what any court-appointed counsel might do as far as spending time with you and the depth and degree of communication may be unrealistic expectations. You always have the right to retain a lawyer to represent you, and then that's between you and that lawyer.
yeah, but see, here's the thing. I don't think she can afford it. So, like, if you guys look on her, all the stuff that they uploaded the lease agreement because at some point she was kicked out of her apartment because, you know, when you murder someone in the apartment, well, your lease agreement gets terminated. So she put in there that she gets like $300 weekly, and does she have any money in the bank account? She only got like $400, I think. It says $400 in her bank account when she signed this lease agreement, which was what, like a couple years ago? So I don't know, maybe she didn't get that much money in there. Maybe she doesn't really save up money. I don't know. I don't know what she did, what was her income, where she was getting her money from. But I mean, it's clearly, you know, she can't afford to hire a private attorney. So, you know, this is what happens.
You can
I don't even know if private attorneys even have that much time to even dedicate. Because, you know, like I said, they're probably juggling other cases as well.
demand whatever expectations that you have as part of that agreement. But when it's a court-appointed lawyer, you have to accept and understand that they have other cases, other courtrooms, other responsibilities. And I'm cognizant of that when I'm addressing these types of issues about communication. So,
That's what I was wondering as well. Income was coming from her ex-husband. I figured it was probably for maybe like alimony or maybe like maybe child support or something like that. Unless she filled it incorrectly. She said she was getting zero from like child support or anything like that. Oh, the sale of their home. Oh, okay.
So that's just food for thought, nothing to do today. I don't need a response from you. I just wanted to make sure you were aware of that and were thinking about that as we proceeded forward. So again, the court minutes reflect that I'm court continuing pretrial. I have granted a motion to withdraw. I have appointed Mr. Hobson to represent the defendant, and I'm taking no action on the motion, the ex parte motion for cost directed where JAC is responding. Ms. Boone will be returned to the Orange County Jail pending disposition of her case.
Yeah, does she not say anything else? Hold on. Let's see if there's anything else that... We have anything here?
Here in open court.
Yes, please. And do I normally get a
Oh,
copy?
no, this is the old one, right? Okay, this is her previously. The one I was complaining about where she was not paying attention to what was going on. I'm just surprised that she's not as pushy as in person. I'm very surprised. Live Florida woman accused. Okay, hold on. Did she not say anything?
To make. Mr. Hobson to represent the defendant, and I'm taking no action on the motion, the ex parte motion for cost directed where GAC is responding. Ms. Boone will be returned to the Orange County Jail pending disposition of her case.
Thank you, Judge.
All right.
Am I able to say anything?
Did she say no?
All right.
Am I able to say anything?
I don't know what she said. Something if you may want to say anything? She says no?
That's his information.
Okay. She said it. I thought it was a bailiff. Oh, I couldn't tell.
All right.
Am I able to say anything?
Am I able to say anything? Okay, they said no. Okay.
That's his information.
Okay. All right. Well, let's read her letters then. Let's read her letters. Like I said, I think her letters are very condescending. We got 2 letters. One was from August 26th, and then another one was 4 days after that, August 30th. Frank is going to do a Ben Chew fist pump after this. Will the trial be covered live? I'm only assuming so, since like all the pretrial stuff is being live streamed. So I'm assuming so. I haven't heard anything otherwise. I pull my hair out from waiting. I'm not very patient. Yeah, that shit would drive me crazy. I do not want her to represent herself. I'm sorry. I don't know. When people represent herself, when people represent themselves, it's just like, I don't know. I'd rather have professional attorneys up there. Please don't represent yourself. Okay, so we got August 26th letter. 100 more days of no communication. Judge Wayne C. Wooten, Orlando, Florida. Sarah Boone, case number, da-da-da-da-da. She writes, Judge Wooten, how do you feel about your attorney withdrawing? During an attempted video visit by a misrepresented, shifty reporter, this is how I was made aware of my attorney, Frank J. Bankowitz, cowardly, and for the second time trying to ungracefully bow out of my case. Mr. Matt Johnson, please honor the integrity and the ethics of a real reporter and not camouflage yourself as my friend in order to push your way through the rules and regulations of the correctional facility. Professional is also not an option. Professional is also an option when scheduling, but clearly does not pertain to you. Should I make it bigger? Is that better? Just don't schedule at all, as I have nothing to report to you or court TV altogether. You're not even a real news channel and only add to the confusion and hysterics wrongfully, illegally, and inappropriately concocted in my case. Do not contact damn court TV. You guys aren't even a real news channel. I love court TV. From my perspective, am I surprised my attorney is trying to yet again give up completely? No. Is it a blessing? Yes. Let's be honest. Frank J. Bankowitz is a dud of an attorney. He is so unprofessional, hides, lies, and is disrespectful. I had a feeling when the other attorneys spoke about him, winced, sighed, or rolled eyes, saying they have some of his clients. I don't know if I believe this. She said she had a feeling when other attorneys spoke about him. Who has she been speaking to? What attorneys are speaking to her? I don't know if I believe that. And after finding his 3 public reprimands, I announced to the court, which he said pissed him off, being the reason for his first attempted withdrawal. This is going to be an adventure, but nonetheless, hope for the best. Unfortunately, I seem to have gotten the worst. Thankfully, there are many other professionals and scrupulous, valiant attorneys still available. And hopefully, after all my previous letters and 6 withdrawals to date, not by my choice, Judge Wooten, you will remove the blindfold this time. Look at her making demands here. You will remove. Like, oh my God, how could you talk to a judge like this, man? You will remove the blindfold this time when throwing your darts of justice at the remember everyone has a constitutional right and should be treated fairly dartboard. And you wear glasses, so let's go for the bullseye. Please, thank you in advance for hopefully caring this time. She's getting a 7th attorney. But I don't know. We'll see if the 7th attorney has any conflict of interest or anything like that. 7th attorney might not be the attorney, or maybe. I'll keep refreshing the Orange County page and see if there's anything that pops up. Also, if you're insistent on continuing to be my judge, as revolution is supposed to be every 2 years, what is she talking about? Is this like a history reference? I'm on going forward now, and you've stated to me in your courtroom previously, I have not because I asked not. May you please observe and act independently as a judge and utilize your judicial authority to judicially maintain for direction of proper, lawful, ethical treatment and respect of the client in any case, effective communication between all parties, especially the client and attorney, is being made. The fuck is she talking about? Productive regular progress is being achieved and all around fairness of and in every aspect is constant. Listen, Frank Bankowitz did mention at some point that he wasn't ready. He didn't think he was going to be ready for the trial to actually happen. But the judge was like, no, you know what? Let's just schedule it for now. We'll do like a update and let's see where it goes from there. Like, it seems like the judge wants this to happen. I don't think the judge is really hindering anything in this trial. I think he just wants it to happen. And, Frank Bankowitz has showed that like, oh, I'm kind of busy. I got some other stuff going on. But the judge's like, no, let's just schedule and then we'll do an update and you can tell me what your progress is. Ay. So, where am I? Oh God, I'm lost. Jesus, where were we? Judicially maintain forward direction, proper, lawful, ethical treatment, and respect of the client in any case. Effective communication between all parties, especially the client and the attorney. I don't know how much power a judge has or how much a judge wants to intervene between, essentially what he said, being a referee between a, client and an attorney. I just don't know. I wish we can talk to, or maybe we could listen to like some judges, maybe like Court TV, maybe Law and Crime. Maybe they'll have some judges on their panels. That'd be really interesting. Because I do want to know, like, how often does a judge put his foot down and kind of like, be the referee between the two of them? I don't know if that's really the judge's job. That seems like way too much work. And the judge probably has a bunch of other things that they could be doing. Especially between the client and attorney, is being made. Productive, regular progress is being achieved, and all around fairness of and in every aspect is constant. Aren't you tired of getting my letters, always asking about the same questions, concerns, and drab information? Please do not ignore and avoid what I have to say any longer, as I'm sure the taxpayers are unapproving of their tax dollars. Mine too. Being wasted for all of my attorneys, you keep blundering. It took almost 14 months before my I told you so moment with Bankowitz and all of my other attorneys, 42 months total. Please also see finally the absolute unfairness, fabrications, impediments, illegalities, and dysfunctions ongoing in my case, and how truly, unmistakably ransacked by the justice system and perverted by the whole world my entire case has been and become, and yourself also to the mayhem, height, and added difficulties. I have an unfair opportunity in everything with all the predisposed, non-permissive, illegally distributed, case-altering, sensitive information and details spread globally for everyone's viewing, except me. My hand is known before the cards are even out of the box. There's not a bell anywhere that hasn't already been rung for all to hear. Seeds have been planted, all illegally and unfairly. For the monumental amount of the time, allowing the world to abuse and devastate my private case information, lack of proper orders, not having an appropriate attorney, and non-existent security and protection of any kind for all said information becoming so easily accessible, mutated, and shared without my permission and before my trial. It is unfair and unlawful that a heavily prejudiced, ignorant, incorrect prejudgment has been made as a result. This could have been stopped, lessened, or averted if someone was doing their job correctly. I am still doing mine by telling you so. I am not wrong. No, still, I believe it all depends on how much money, notoriety, and benefits anyone and everyone can get for themselves. And however, no matter the destruction caused or the ominous, irreputable shadow made along the very lucrative way, a system for all the wrong reasons. As for Bankowitz and his irreconcilable differences, this means because I asked again about his phantom phone numbers and any progress occurring since not speaking to him in months and after. 408 days, 58 weeks plus, 9,792 hours of his representation. Listen, when you have to break it down like this, you have an issue. You could just say 408 days. You don't need to do the weeks. You don't need to do the hours. Like, you made your point, Sarah. From the date of appointment, 7/11 to withdrawal attempt, 8/22/23. Like, I get it. It makes it seem like a lot more time has passed when you're putting like thousands of numbers up there, like 9,009, blah, blah, blah. But I mean, it's been like 2 months. Okay. It's been 2 months right here. But I don't know what she's talking about the 408 days though. Is she saying that like she didn't speak with him when on 7/11 when they had their other hearing? With only 6 in-person meetings totaling plus or minus 7 hours out of the 9. This is just batshit crazy to me. So she's saying that like, oh, he's been my lawyer for 9,792 hours. And of those hours, and yes, I'm going to count the times where he should be sleeping. I've only had 7 hours with him. 4 to 15-minute video visits. Literally, she's just trying to inflate her argument by just saying like 408 days, 58. Okay, I'm sorry. Holy shit. And 2 phone numbers given, 0 working, 0 calls answered. 10 letters from me, client, trying to communicate, no response. 8 letters from me, client, to judge, no response, productively. 4 letters from me, client, to my investigator, asking to attempt communication on my behalf to Bankowitz. 5 known attempts by investigator, C8223 letter, by himself directly and on my behalf. No response. I am curious about that, though, the investigator one. 9 attempts made by outside sources on my behalf, including phone calls, voicemails, emails, no response. Also, trying to use recycled components in my case. No discovery, witness list, research, orders, instructions, records, depositions, downloads, etc. after 13 months. Nothing but confirmation of his lack of professionalism, principles, disrespect, lies, and not caring. And please note, 11 out of the 13 months were/are with no communications, none in any form. You know, I could have sworn before she said she barely got to talk to him, but now we're seeing that she did have 6 in-person meetings. That was like 7 hours total. I gotta look at her older letters. Can she write my college assignments? The only difference is I want progress, productivity, honesty, respect, and results. If he were such a professional attorney from the beginning and not selling me on his stable, by the way, professional and attorney, you could just quotations both of the words together, Sarah. From the beginning and not selling me on his stable of witnesses, historical background, and all of his abundant resources, he still wouldn't be avoiding and cowering behind his now second attempt to withdraw. Number 2, promotion to withdraw. Clearly, everyone can see anyone not lobotomized in my slides would be highly unsatisfied. Like in her shoes, slides? Okay. Highly unsatisfied with Bankowitz. Overall performance as attorney, see prior data. And no dedication has been made on his part in my case. Dude, you can tell her hands are starting to cramp up. The handwriting starts off pretty nice, you know? Pretty nice, pretty decent. I think her hand's cramping up right now because or she's just getting really angry. Get a little sloppy now. Cramping up. She cramping up. Something about lobotomize. Overall performance as attorney, see prior data, no dedication has been made on his part in my case or any productive progress or effort. She's essentially just repeating herself over and over again from all the other letters that she wrote. I don't know. It's kind of like when you're dealing with someone and they're not getting what they want. So they think that repeating it over and over again is at some point going to get through, or maybe being louder, being more insulting. But again, we're only seeing this from Sarah Boone's side. We haven't really heard anything from the attorneys or anything like that, because obviously it's like, privileged communication. But this is all from Sarah Boone's side. So, I take it with a grain of salt. What time has been put forth solely the 7 out of 9,792 in 13 months. Number 3, promotion to withdraw. As I reminded Bankowitz during the 104 video visits and him repeatedly telling me how busy he is with all his other murder cases, and again, no communication for months, I politely raised my hand to the camera where he could see me and said, murder case. I am your client also, and have been. When do I get to go to trial like all the other clients? He said he had to think about everything and disconnected. So he just hung up on her. No word since 100 days later, except for the withdrawal I learned about from court TV. Not him. I could also see it going differently. Maybe she kept asking him the same question over and over again. Maybe he gave her legit reasons. At some point, when she asked him for maybe like the 20th time, maybe at some point he did get frustrated, just disconnected from her. I don't know. Again, this is all from her perspective, her side of the words. Again, you got to also remember, this is also the same person who did those interrogations, who also did the, police body cam interviews, and her side of the story, before the video came out where, she was videotaping her boyfriend in the suitcase as he was begging to come out. Her side of the story was like, oh no, we're just playing hide and go seek. What are you talking about? We're just playing hide and go seek. I didn't even know that he was in there. I forgot all about it. I woke up the next morning and, why didn't I call 911? I mean, I did call 911. Oh, CPR? Oh, I did do CPR. I don't know. I don't know. We've seen what she said. We've seen the video recording, and we've seen how she will take something and kind of morph it differently. Yeah. And obviously her attorney can't come out and really say anything unless one day he decides to write a book about this. I don't know if we're... Do you think Elaine would take Sarah as a client? I don't think Elaine wants to deal with anyone, any batshit crazy people anymore. She probably learned her lesson. She's repeating the same thing over and over again. Yeah. And then she's just telling more numbers, higher numbers, to try to make her argument. If Sarah had enough money, Elaine might push retirement. Motion to withdraw. Judge Wooten, with everything I have stated and all of my information produced to you in all of my previous letters, so you are aware, clearly Bankowitz should not continue being my attorney. Wouldn't you agree? Clearly you should have listened and reviewed much earlier when I was trying to communicate with you 10 letters ago, just about him. Please listen and include me going forward. It is my right. Oh, God. Break my neck. Okay, you guys have to break your neck for this. Just kidding. With that being said, and because in the past you have stated to me you have other priorities, not allowing me rightful, appropriate time to speak in your courtroom, when I am allowed permittance to my meetings and I am on your schedule for that day. 4 times going to court with Bankowitz, total time with all the other attorneys, 3. 7 times and ongoing 4 years. So this is when I don't know what she's documenting here. April 29, 2022, first attorney, the withdrawal attempt. Yeah, that was last year. May 10th, first attorney withdrawal attempt, agreed and granted. December 27th, sixth attorney withdrawal attempt. This is Frank Bankowitz, by the way. Denied. I never even knew about it until stated in court during status hearing. No copies received yet. Okay, so she's saying she hasn't received any copies. February 10, 2023, status hearing, carryover. March 31, status hearing. May 25th, status hearing, carryover. Judge said that was delayed trial. Me, hence my letter, dated 6/29, hand delivered, second copy, 7/21/23. July 21st, 2023, status hearing, carryover. Judge said he has other priorities for the day when I was trying to address the court. Did he say that verbatim? That he had other priorities? Maybe. Please grant Frank G. Bankowitz's motion to withdraw as my attorney. I, Sarah Boone, permit Judge Wayne C. Wooten to release Frank J. Bankwitz entirely from my case for obvious aforementioned reasons stated. I will allow withdrawal when it should be termination. We all know it. Me and my hope. Next, ... Oh my God. I will allow the withdrawal. So she's essentially taking the power back into her, as if she really has a choice to allow that or not. I mean, he does ask her for her opinion, but I wonder, actually I wonder this. If she was like, you know what, I want to keep him as my attorney, and then the lawyer wants to withdraw, I wonder what happens. How would a judge decide then? Would the judge just be like, okay, all right, you said you want to keep him? All right, you keep him then. Nope, there's more. I'm not done yet. There's more. There's a whole ass another letter to read. In the meantime of the selection of my next attorney, aim, please. Again, she wants him to aim at the dartboard. And also going forward, please enable and support me in still trying to utilize my constitutional rights as a still proud citizen of the United States and stop willingly, actively allowing the violations of said rights. See previous letter dated May 15, 23. Please include me. Please listen to what I have to say. No one else does or has. It is my case. Hopefully, futuristically, with a better, more appropriate, professional attorney for choosing, less letters, if any, will be generated, and more time you will have to dedicate to all your priorities you have made known to me in the past. Please know also, Your Honor, I know that I'm not a priority as you condescendingly and incorrectly stated, nor am I making myself out to be or ever have been. I mean, if you're not making yourself to be or have been, then why is it incorrectly stated then? Obviously, you're saying that you are a priority, and that's why it was incorrectly stated, but now you're saying that you never made yourself to be or ever been. I'm a little confused there. My entire life. Oh no, I don't know if I believe that statement. Nor am I making myself to be or ever have been in anything my entire life. I don't know, Sarah, based on the tone of this letter and all the letters that you sent, I don't know if I believe that. I am a client to my attorney, now 7th and all prior, an inmate to the county jail in criminal case for your righteous judgments still. Clearly, after yet another letter from me and another withdrawal, not by my choice, and 42 uneventful months later, still looking for the starting line and 7 times more. Nothing has been made priority. Oh no, I love Cousin Vinny. We're not gonna get Cousin Vinny stressed up into this mess, okay? Hi, Caitlin, how are you doing today? Please help Bankwitz wipe the sweat from his brow and inform him he can stop the self-sabotage. He is no longer my attorney. Amen. My perseverance is real, so is my truth. I can't wait to meet the bullseye. Court-appointed, audacious, gratitude, Sarah Boone. Oh, Lord. Oh, there's more. Important. Please send me a copy of this letter as the court used to. Consistency? ? So I have my receipt and I know that it was received and hopefully read. I do not have the resources being in jail still to make this needed copy myself, nor the pen to rewrite. Yeah, her hand is starting to cramp up. Hopefully my next letter will be less involved from all the necessary remedies being made. Also, my attorney is really an attorney. Thank you in advance for the copy, 10 pages, your caring and precious time. I will look for the mail once the copy has been mailed. Again, so grateful. She's so grateful, guys. I wonder how she would be if she wasn't grateful. You can't dump me. I'm dumping you first. That's true, Valerie. I do get that sense. All right, that is letter number 1. 4 days later, she writes another letter and she sounds pissed. Let's see why. August 30, 2023. All right. She writes, Clerk of Courts, Judge Wooten, anyone. So confused, so tired of perpetual question marks over my head. As usual, thanks to the ongoing convolution of everything from no communication, no system, not including me, and no care, I can't ask my attorney because he's trying to withdraw again. I wouldn't get a response anyways. It's funny how the only piece of correspondence via mail I've actually received from Bankwitz is his motion to withdraw as counsel. Okay, so she got in the mail. Okay. Judge Wooten, please clarify my requested information as follows so I, the defendant in my case, can prepare and plan accordingly. See letter dated 6/29/23, hand delivered, second copy, 7/21/23. What is going on? This information in question is all I have from an outside source looking on the clerk's website to keep me updated since no one else will. I've tried to dilute some of the question marks, but need you, Judge Wooten, to help me get it correct and begin my preparation. Please clarify and send copies for. Filed July 21st, 2023. Title, Notice of Hearing. 4, Pretrial Conference. When? September 8, 2023 at 9 a.m. Defendants receive copy? Yes, from court. Is defendant attending? Unknown. I mean, Judge Wooten did say that from now on, you will be attending these hearings. He literally said it, I think like 2 hearings ago. He literally said that you're going to attend these hearings from now on. Ay. Okay. Maybe she just needs his affirmation every time there's a scheduled hearing, but you're not going to get that. Once a judge says something's going to happen, I'm sure he's going to try to make it happen. Filed July 26, 2023. Title, Notice of Ex Parte. 4, Notice of Ex Parte. When? September 8, 2023 at 9 a.m. Defendant received copy? No. Need copy. Is defendant attending? Unknown. I thought the pretrial conference was on this date. See previous filing? Is this meeting for the recycled psychologist? Who is the recycled psychologist? And why are they being referenced as a recycled psychologist? Now, she did mention recycled in her previous letter when she was talking about recycled arguments or something like that, which I was a little confused what she was talking about. But why are we calling this psychologist a recycled psychologist? What's going on with the psychologist? Why didn't I receive a copy from court? Why didn't I receive a copy from the attorney? Filed August 22nd, 2023. Notice of hearing. Status hearing. September 15, 2023, 9 a.m. Defendant received copy? Yes, from court. Is defendant attending? Unknown. Like I said, the judge literally says that from now on, you're going to be attending these hearings. Is this for the motion to withdraw? It was filed on the same day. If not, what is it for specifically? Why did I receive a copy from my attorney? I could have sworn, I'm pretty sure so when the judge said that there was going to be some upcoming hearings, I'm pretty sure she was there and he gave the dates. So he was probably like, yep, we'll do September 8 for, let's do like a pretrial conference and then September 15 for something else. Did he not? I could have sworn he did. Okay. Why didn't receive a copy from the attorney? Blah, blah, blah. Filed August 22nd, 2023. Motion to withdraw as counsel. Defendant received copy? Yes, from attorney. Why did I receive a copy from the court? Because you got it from the attorney. You got a copy? All right. Filed August 22nd, 2023. Notice of filing. 4, motion to withdraw. Bankowitz signed document. When? September 8. Defendant received copy? No, from either. Need copy. Is defendant attending? Unknown. 2 meetings already scheduled on this day. See previous things. What is correctly happening? This was filed the same day as the attorney's motion to withdraw. Why didn't I receive a copy from this? From him also. Why didn't the court send a copy with the status hearing notice filed the same day as the motion to withdraw? Which date is correct for the actual motion to withdraw? Again, what is going on and when? I rarely am included in any of the certificate of service for any document filed or anything else. It should be an automatic inclusion. Please send revised and or all correct copies of the aforementioned document so I have it for my records, and is the only way I know unless I'm able to find an outside source. Again, receiving copies of notifications, updates, schedules, everything to all of my meetings, conferences should be automatic so I know. It is my right. Please include. Finally, am I really the only one who is trying to figure anything out about my case to finally conclude? Shouldn't I, the defendant of all the parties in my case, be included overall and receive necessary needed copies? Please clarify everything, Sarah Boone. So she doesn't get a response, obviously, from the judge, and she didn't really get to talk today. Just pent up anger. It's going to get worse and worse, man. Can you imagine her complaint reports filed to the jail? These are actually pages from her jailhouse diary. All are missing are her dream analysis. It's hard for us to separate our annoyance with her for the malicious treatment of her, of how she's been shorted. Listen, when I first read her letters, we were rolling our eyes for a bit. But, there were some things that she brought up was like, oh, damn, she hasn't seen her lawyer for a bit. And I wonder, what's going on there. And then she kept complaining. And then at some point, I don't know, I just started thinking, like, is she just exaggerating? Like, is there some miscommunication? Like, what is going on here? But we'll never be able to hear from the lawyer's side. So we're just going to keep hearing from her side, her version of events, her version of things. She spent all her money on stamps. I mean, honestly, if she feels like she's not being included in anything, hopefully she can reach out to a family, friend, ex-husband, whatever, have them keep refreshing this webpage. And then, if there's anything, maybe they can write a letter or print it out and give it to her or something like that. I don't know. Not too sure. I don't know what the logistics are supposed to be. I don't really know how these things work. I don't know if she's exaggerating. I don't know if they are doing what they're supposed to do and she's just asking for more. I don't know if she's like overstepping. I don't know. But the way that she talks in these letters, her language, her tone, it's highly condescending. She sounds very arrogant at some points. Yeah, I do agree with you. It is hard to kind of parse out the difference between us being annoyed at her tone and then, whether or not her complaints are actually like legitimate or not. We trying here. You don't think the ex-husband has much like sympathy for her? She speaks to them like this. She's insane. Hide and go seek is a legit excuse for murder. Yeah. All right. Let's see what the update is. What do we got going on here? Let me update it. Have they updated it yet? Sarah Boone. I'm not a robot. Does spousal support stop when you're incarcerated? I have no idea. No idea. I don't think we have. Okay, they haven't really updated the website yet. It's still the same. So this is the hearing that happened today. They had a scheduled 9:15 status hearing. And then they were supposed to have pre-trial conference and hearing. Yeah, I feel like this was already discussed in the previous hearings. Had she maybe taken on her, I don't know, had she taken a mental note and maybe listened to what was going on, she wouldn't be so confused. Like, oh, why is this happening? Why is this happening? It's like they literally addressed it. But like, I get it. You want like a hard copy and all that stuff. But I mean, they do discuss it and talk about it when you're actually at these hearings. She's been in jail for, I think, almost like 4 years. It's been a long time. This happened in the 2020, beginning of 2020 or 2019. I'm not a robot. Just what a robot would say. Cut your nails, Skynet. Yeah, it's been like 3 to 4 years. All right, so you heard the judge. The judge says that they're going to schedule a status hearing for October, I think like near Halloween time, to discuss with the new attorney. Hopefully the new attorney will be her attorney, or the 7th attorney. We'll see. Mr. Hobson, may the force be with you. Mr. Hobson will give an update on whether or not he thinks he can pursue trial, which was scheduled to happen. I don't know. What were they going to do? Like jury selection end of November and then trial to happen December 11th, right? I was pulling this from memory. Like 4 years. Watch her interrogation. You can see what the attorneys are dealing with on a regular basis, like talking to the concrete wall she's encased in. Listen, I saw the body cam footage of when the police officer initially responded. And this is before they even accused her of doing anything. We saw how she was. She was... It was me. Everything was about her. She even seemed like she even cared about her boyfriend. He was like, I need a cigarette. I'm so thirsty. Oh my God, let me go in. And she was just being insanely annoying. So, and this was before they accused her of the crime. Okay, we saw the interrogation too. So yeah, I mean, when we see videos like that, we are getting a little ounce of her personality. But I mean, she's not hiding it whatsoever in these letters. You know, she's directly going after her lawyers, attacking the judge. Yep, I don't know. She needs to find some puzzles to keep her busy in jail. Someone sent her some Aquaman puzzles. Gummy bears. It's a long time to still have no trial. Yeah, I mean, the pandemic probably fucked a lot of things up. A lot of cases probably got pushed because the pandemic and the quarantine happened like 2020, like the first half. So that probably really fucked it up. Her first attorney was working on her case for the first 2 years, but something happened. First attorney withdrew from irreconcilable differences, and then we had a couple of other attorneys that withdrew because of conflict of interest. There might have been another attorney that also withdrew for irreconcilable differences. see. Attorney number 2 withdraws. Attorney number 3 withdraws. Number 4 withdraws. Frank. Let me see. I'm actually kind of curious now. So this is when they appoint a new public defender. They are withdrawing. Did they give a reason why they withdrew? This one withdrew because there was a... Yeah, conflict of interest. This attorney apparently was involved in the case with her ex-boyfriend, or sorry, her boyfriend. Yeah, conflict of interest. Yeah, we had a couple of conflict of interest. I think there are reconcilable differences. For sure, I remember was attorney number 1, or I think he's technically attorney number 2. But the Padilla guy that was assigned to her, that, yeah. Actually, was he a public defender? I thought he was a private attorney. But there was a Padilla guy from Miami or something that was like representing her for like 2 years. That was like her main attorney. And then he decides to withdraw a year and a half ago. What's that saying again? Where if you want to get something done, you do it with honey or something. What's that saying again? Basically, essentially, like, be nice to people. Don't be an asshole. Especially if you're relying on them to do things for you. You attract more bees with honey. She clearly waived her right to a speedy trial to safety of attorney they have so that she can ultimately claim an ability to obtain effective counsel. I disagree. Watch the lawyer you know. Watch on the subject. I think a lot of her anger is absolutely justified. Well, when she mentioned, like I said earlier in the earlier letters, when she was saying that, like, you know, he was in meeting with her and stuff like that, I totally get that. But again, we are getting from her side of the story, and based off, you know, how she's been acting before all this stuff happened, the tone of her letters. I don't know. At some point, you know, like, I think maybe initially the lawyer did mess up and didn't get to meet with her as often. But maybe he decided to at some point, you know, especially after this being brought into light and maybe the judge has been noticing it, maybe he did try to meet up with her. Maybe he has been working on the case, but maybe she's just an absolute nightmare to work with. Maybe she's very demanding, but catch more flies with honey than you do with vinegar. Yeah. So I don't know. I don't know at this point. It just sounds like, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. We're only getting one side of the story. What is JAC? I forgot what they stood for. But essentially, JAC was the one that was supposed to approve the expert witnesses. But the only expert witness that they were able to find was someone that I think, like, I forgot what the hourly rate was for the approved one. But it was like the new expert's hourly rate was way higher than what they were willing to approve. So they were supposed to have this hearing today, so JAC can look at their expert witness that they're supposed to have and approve the rates. But I don't know if that was going to go through or not. So let's see. JAC Florida. Justice Administrative Commission. I think that's what it is. Yeah. Did anyone see Johnny's new Savage commercial? No, did not. Yeah, that's crazy. It was like 10 years. Frank Bankel's was like, the last time they redid the rates, it's been like 10 years, which is, yeah, it's pretty crazy. She already had an expert, though, the JC paid $7,500 for. She wants another one. What was that expert for again? Because I know now that Frank Bankowitz, they were going to go for the battered spouse defense. They needed like an expert witness. And he did mention that they tried to get witnesses to come up and be an expert on this case, but they didn't want to touch it, especially with like how public everything was, and they want to be involved or something. An expert witness for what? To prove the adults play hide and go seek. Oh, the recycled psychiatrist. He's old. He totally neglected his appearance big time. I mean, he did mention that he was busy with other murder cases, but I mean, I think it'd be really interesting to see if, like, you know, if they were able to get like Law and Crime or Court TV to get like a public defender and interview them and talk about, like, you know, how much time do they dedicate their clients. Yeah, and what are their thoughts about this thing? I think the extra amount they needed was for the court testimony. Yeah, because like the expert witness would have to be flown over, and then they would have to be paid money to like testify and stuff like that. So yeah, it was the first psych expert. Didn't say what Sarah wanted. Oh, I don't know about that part. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff on here we can catch up on. That's why Judge Wooten reiterated they may not get the experts they want. He's a recovering addict. Drugs do that to you. He looks better than he did during the trial. Wait, who is a recovering addict? She should have been out in bond years ago. Drugs so not make you... Okay. He definitely partied hard for sure. Such a shame. Did the judge approve the increase? They didn't get to that today. So because Frank Bankowitz, they approved his motion to withdraw, they need to get the other attorney on board, and maybe the other attorney will take a different direction. Maybe the other attorney will have a different expert witness. So we're not really sure. So that's why they didn't even get to the JAC stuff. They did have JAC on the line, but they didn't even get to it. But I don't know. We'll see. I mean, hopefully, you know, the seventh attorney is a charm. And hopefully this attorney works out, and we'll see. Maybe we'll get less letters, like she said. Boone told Bankowitz to bounce, yeah. Considering these are court-appointed attorneys assigned to her, they put up with the drug addicts, criminals, all sorts of nasty people, and some of them wanted to get away from her. Speaks volume. Well, when we say 7 attorneys, right? Or sorry, 6 attorneys. So again, a lot of those attorneys, it was just conflict of interest. Now, if it was 6 attorneys that all cited irreconcilable with differences, I think that's a different story, right? Versus 2 people that I know for sure citing irreconcilable differences. So again, we don't know what happened with attorney number 1, but they just said irreconcilable differences. With Frank Bankowitz, you know, he did say he had like a lot of workload. He was doing like murder capital trial, a bunch of other stuff that he's doing. But it seems like, you know, he was trying to put in effort. He was trying to get this expert witness in, trying to get JC to approve the rates, blah, blah, blah. But yeah, I think that we know for sure 2 was irreconcilable differences. But the others, when they say that like, oh, you know, I have like a conflict of interest, I don't think we should use that against her. I know plenty of former drug addicts who are lovely people. Now they're sober. Sarah's naturally this way. She shouldn't get bond. She's charged with murder. From what I understand, they have an expert that agrees with the battered spouse defense, but GC won't cover the cost for the expert to testify. Yeah. So that's where they were at. So today's hearing, if Frank Bankowitz wasn't going to withdraw, today's hearing was supposed to be JAC was on the line, and then I guess Frank Bankowitz was supposed to pitch to them like, hey, we have this expert witness. We need you guys to approve. And I think that's where they were supposed to be at. The bond is on me decline in all murder charges. I'm not really quite sure how they do it in Florida. She's absolutely rich. She's facing murder charges. Just say the name, Sarah Boone. And I made sure I have a conflict of interest. I don't think you could just willy-nilly just like, oh, I have a conflict of interest. I can't represent. Sorry. You have to give like an actual reason and stuff. So I don't know. Maybe we should look at all the motions to withdraw. And see how many of them was conflict of interest. So this is when Frank Bankowitz was denied the first time. That was in December. This is motion to withdraw. This is Frank Bankowitz. Motion for continuance. Oh, sorry. Withdraw. Let's start with the first one. I'm kind of curious. Motion to withdraw counsel. Let's see what this one is. So this is the Office of Public Defender was appointed, but then Mauricio Padilla filed a notice of appearance as counsel for the defendant. I don't know if Mauricio Padilla, if he was, I don't think he's a public defender. I don't know if she was like a hired attorney. I'm not quite sure. Or maybe he was doing this pro bono, possibly. So this one I don't really count. Yeah, this one I don't really count. Go to 16. Motion to withdraw. This one. So this is when the lawyer that she had for roughly 2 years decides to withdraw. And this is about a year and a half ago. So irreconcilable differences have arisen between the undersigned and defendant that's made it impossible for the undersigned to effectively represent his client. So Padilla Law Group from Miami. So we don't know what happened there specifically. It's not as spicy as Banquet's motion where he's like, oh, she should just represent herself. What do we have? Motion to withdraw granted. Now we have another motion to withdraw. Motion to withdraw. And these are just irreconcilable difference. So this is the same one. This is just an amended one. I don't think he ever... All he says right here is the undersigned is forced to withdraw as irreconcilable differences. This is the second lawyer, by the way. Have arisen between the undersigned and defendant has been impossible for the undersigned to effectively represent his client. As always, it is difficult to convey all particulars to the court and at the same time maintain all duties to the client. Undersigned's relationship with the defendant has become adversarial. The aforementioned adversarial relationship has interfered with the undersigned counsel's ability to effectively represent his client, especially preparing for a trial. Undersigned relationship with the defendant has deteriorated to the point where the undersigned counsel can no longer give effective aid to the fair representation of Ms. Boone's defense. So this is the lawyer that she's had for the longest. Let's go to the next one. Motion to withdraw. See what we have here. Yeah, so she was to cite another public defender, but there was a conflict of interest because this public defender's office also represented her boyfriend, her murdered boyfriend, allegedly murdered boyfriend. This one was... This is when they're ordering a new person, right? Okay. Motion to withdraw. See what they withdrew. Is this the same one? Yeah, this is also like a conflict of interest. Same thing. Conflict of interest. Conflict of interest. This is when they assigned Frank Bankowitz. Yeah, so from my understanding, it's mostly conflict of interest, but we have two attorneys that cites irreconcilable differences. Is Brick the monster who drove through the parade? He drove through the parade and then he represents himself in court. It was a shit show. Yeah. Yeah, I don't want her to represent herself. Please no. Please no. I had no idea what this is about, so I searched it. This case has its own Wikipedia page. Occasionally, Boone holds a lawyer grudge. All right, guys. Anything else to cover today? I think that's just about it. We had the Sarah Boone hearing that we talked about. Went through some of her letters that she has posted. 2 letters that she wrote within the past, 2 weeks. And we'll see what happens. She's assigned a 7th attorney. Let's see if he has a conflict of interest, or maybe he'll be able to represent her. The next time we're going to hear back from Sarah Boone, well, unless she writes another letter, but the next time we'll hear back from her will be the end of October, where they'll have a hearing, just to see what the status is, to see if they can move forward with a possible December 2023 trial. So we'll see in Ruby Frank. Ruby Frank will have a appearance today, actually, or Ruby Frankie. Yeah, Ruby Frankie will have an appearance 1:30 my time. So in about 2 hours, but I don't know if that's going to be streamed or not. I don't know. We'll see. Actually, I do want to see if there's any updates with her, because Daily Mail did write a crazy article about apparently a hearing that happened yesterday, but I haven't seen Court TV or Law and Crime Report about that yet. Let's see if they did. The Murdaugh love letters? No. No. I watched a video with Vinny covering it though. The 911 call. Yeah, I do want to listen to the full 911 call. I listened to parts of it. It was really sad. It was the one where the neighbor called it in, right? Oh yeah, hold on a second. I guess it is going to be live. YouTube mom child abuse case hearing. Utah versus Ruby Frankie, Jody Hildebrand. All right, it's scheduled for a long crime. I will. When is that happening? 12:30 p.m. They probably, because I heard that it was going to happen at 1:30. So they're probably just like scheduling for an hour ahead, and they're probably just going to discuss about it. So yeah, we'll be back. I'm going to end my stream here. I'm going to, do some research with this Ruby Frankie stuff, and then I'll be back again in a couple of hours, and we'll stream the hearing that's going to happen. Is it going to be live? Like live? There's a church here in Tennessee that promotes not eating. Like what? Like fasting or something? Intermittent fasting? What's going on? All right, guys. YouTube all day today. I gotta take a break from Baldur's Gate. So Ginny, you keep playing. I'll let you know if I hop on Baldur's Gate. I'll let you know. But I think I wanted to do some research today with some other stuff that's been happening. So we'll catch up with the Ruby Frankie stuff. I'll be back in a couple of hours. They said that it was going to happen at 1:30 Pacific time. So Law and Crime has like a 12:30 thing scheduled, but I think this is just really going to be them just discussing the case, probably like overviewing everything. So I think I'll probably start the stream at maybe 1 o'clock, 1:15. But if you guys feel free to join the Discord. Join the Discord for notifications. Have this notification on Discord. We do have a true crime section, so feel free to discuss anything true crime related in there, anything you want me to cover, any updates or anything like that. You can just post it in there. But other than that, I hope you guys have a great day. I'll see you in 2 hours-ish. 2 hours? Yeah. Bye, guys. I mean, I could do it on stream, but I'm going to go eat. We need a calendar with the trial dates. You know what? Maybe I should make a... Maybe I should do like a website thing. Like maybe have a website and then upload the court docs on there, and then have like a calendar and all that stuff. Yeah, because I have a calendar here. So far I just have business sentencing happening like end of this month. So that's all I got so far. But we'll refresh all the pages and see if there's anything else going on. All right, guys. I will see you guys in 2 hours if they're going to do the live stream for the Ruby Frankie's court appearance. All right, y'all. I'll see you soon. Bye.